Afternoon, guys. Okay, boat buddy here again. As you know, I'm busy working on a 50 horsepower 3-cylinder Mariner motor, old split cowl motors, and I thought I'll just take you guys through some of the stuff I've done so far. Taken me a little bit of while. I've been a little bit busy with other work, and yeah, just take you through what I've done so far, and then we take it from there. And if there's anything you guys like or would like to know more of, let me know in the comments below, and yeah, then I'll try and assist wherever I can. And yeah, please guys, like and subscribe to my channel, share it if you can and where you want to, and let's get the info out to everybody to use. Appreciate the support. Thanks a lot. And okay, just to switch around quickly, as you can see, I think I covered that in the last one where I stripped off the airbox and everything. Starter motor, everything came out. You can see on this motor the reed valves sit over there inside, and there's the other reed valves below. So I'm not going to strip off this case here. I am going to, however, clean up that throttle mechanism and everything there. Replace gaskets and so forth when I get to that. But for now, I am just doing bit by bit on its own. I have stripped off the fuel pump here as well. I have found lots of wires that are in very bad condition, so I'll be replacing these wires. I've got some swollen cables over here, which is never a good thing, so that will all be replaced once I get to that section of it. And yeah, I'll probably end up replacing most of the electrical cables here, fuses, fuse holders, check the CDI and that type of stuff, and see what we're on about. But yeah, there's also a little, excuse that plug that we're going to get to, but you see this little sender here or sensor here's cable is also stuffed, so I'll sort that out as well. Bottom unit I covered, and getting some of the stuff sorted on that bottom unit. That took me quite a while to get that gearbox apart. Was a little bit stuck and so forth, but managed to get it sorted with a little bit of a breakage on my side due to impatience. But yeah, busy getting that sorted as well. Last time my garage was quite a mess. It's getting better. It's not there yet. I have organized myself at the bottom here with little shelves and stuff to get the stuff separated and sorted and so forth, and yeah, making it a bit easier. Okay, let's go to the smallest thing first. There's the little fuel pump I took off, what it looks like. So I'll replace these little diaphragms and gaskets. There's the one part of it, there's the back part of it. These things will all be replaced, and this really crappy fuel filter will also be replaced with a decent one. Yeah, that's what I have, and it's 4 little bolts. Then we come to the lower unit, the gearbox, that I've stripped out, managed to strip out. I'll show you guys quickly. I'll get into the inside of that quickly, but here's your drive shaft. Drive shaft's looking pretty good. No dings and bends and everything on there. This little collar is there. I'm going to replace this bearing just because I'm here. It would be senseless to put in an old bearing. Here's one of your gears over here. If you guys are ever looking for part numbers on a motor, there we go. Now it's caught there, so everybody can turn it around. Maybe that part number means something to somebody if they want to replace their gear on their motor. Then we've got it covered here. But as you can see, this gear is looking very nice. Pinion gear. Shaft as well there on the end, good condition, no issues there. So yeah, just stick it on there so it doesn't fall off. Little nut, considering the nut looks alright, but it looks like got a bit of a pickup there, which I'm worried will damage the thread. So I'll still see if I can sort that out. Otherwise I'll replace this nut as well. Then if we go to the gearbox, I've literally packed it out as it came out. So forward gear goes in that way. The outer race of the bearing is still in the box there. I'll take that out at a later stage. The bearings look good, but then again, I am here. It's senseless to do it again in a couple of months. But the bearings really look not bad at all. They actually look pretty decent. Is there a bearing number on here? No, but there's a couple of part numbers again, which I'll keep in a slow focus so you guys can jot them down if you pause the video, hopefully. Yeah, guys, unfortunately the bearing number will now sit on the other side, so I can't help you much with that, but I'm sure that will cover most of it. There's the needle bearing in the inside that will also be replaced, which you can see over there. Let me see if I can wipe that with my finger. Maybe it's a bit more readable. There we go. That's that one over there. Okay. And I've got the prop shaft over here. Prop shaft assembled, so that bearing sits in there. This goes inside the needle bearing over there. That's your little push rod that sits there, together with this spring and the separate locator there for that pin that goes through. So the moment the clutch, sorry, I'm out of focus. The moment the clutch slides over there, and it's got that spring around it, and basically that spring is to hold that little pin into place. So that's the clutch over there. As you can see, the clutch is still in good condition, no issues there, so I'll be reusing that obviously. I don't see any part numbers of use for you guys, but I'm sure if I go and search in the catalog, I will find it somewhere along the line. That sits in there, so you will take the spring over there, goes into the center of the shaft here. You can see there's a hole over there. Don't know if you can look down there. Yeah, can't see much down there. So that goes in there together with that pin on top, and the moment it gets here to this gap, you literally compress it a bit down, push this pin in, and then when you push on the pin, once you slide the clutch over, you push on this pin, and that locator pin will go right through the clutch, through that little locating bush, I don't know what you call it, and through this groove over here, and that allows the clutch to move up and down as you then select a different gear, because your selector shaft has this little thing here. There's a part number, nice and clear. So that sits in there, and then that pin, let me just move it over here where it's a little bit more visual. So that pin, whoop, sorry for that guys. So that little selector sits there, and as you can see the groove there, and the edge of this thing here, it will literally push the shaft as it moves. That shaft goes in and out like that, and that changes the clutch, which then changes your gears. Sorry guys, let me just pick this up. Sorry, dropped it. Not a major thing. If I can see, here we go. I haven't cleaned this up yet, but that's your selector shaft. So on the top of your bottom casing, you will only see that coming out like that. So basically what happens is, as you can see there, that pushes in there, and as you move your gear lever in and out, the focus is bad, as you move it in and out, that pin over there will rub into this little groove of this thing here, and it will push the clutch in and out, either in forward, reverse, or neutral. Guys, I'm new to this camera video thing, so please bear with me. I'll get better equipment soon and get better videos made for you. And basically you can see there is a little external circlip, and if you can see inside there's an o-ring at the bottom. Please excuse me, I haven't cleaned that up yet. There's an o-ring at the bottom to seal there. This is basically just like a little flinger type washer to keep crap and muck out of the selector shaft. And inside there, on that side, there is a lip seal, also to make sure that oil doesn't come out on that side. So that's basically how that works. As I say, this is your reverse gear. This one sits on this side of the shaft like that. It will slide on up to that little collar over there. And you've got your clutch with your little, let's call it a little spacer or a selector, whatever you want to call it, and a little spring that goes inside the shaft over here. That pin goes through the clutch, through that little pin, through that groove, out the other side, and that spring holds it all around in that groove. The spring holds it in place, and then it will, as the clutch shifts, it will engage via these teeth over here. So you can see it's got similar teeth on the inside there. Let me just tip this up for easy explanation. As you can see, that doesn't engage, but when it engages in forward, it will, in forward, it will move forward. When you engage in reverse, this sits in those grooves over there, and it will lock into the other direction. And that's basically how the gearbox on an outboard motor works. Then we've got this is your bearing carrier, which basically locates everything inside that chamber over there. Got an o-ring again, seal oil inside, and this part that you see here is actually the part that the seawater is in contact with. Please excuse this. This is, as I said, my stupidity. If I can show you guys my stupidity from pulling it with a puller and forcing it. When that happened, I should have known it before the time, but when it did happen, I heated this casing on the outside here, heated it, and this would just pull out with a puller. So you basically need a puller to go inside there and hook around here, and on the other side around there, and then just let it push down on this shaft over here, on the drive shaft, and then you will just pull it out. But guys, heat this casing. Don't make the same mistake I did. So basically, that's where your water is in contact with when it cools the motor as it comes back from the motor. And this is also then the ports to your exhaust, which then comes out between the impeller and the impeller vanes. I've got an old crappy impeller here that I can show you. Let me just get it, yeah. So there's a crappy impeller, and if you had to put this like that, you would see that on that side. For just explanation purposes, you'll see they all link up together. Well, if they're properly aligned. At this stage, I'm just holding it by hand, so it's pretty crappy. So, and that's where your exhaust gases will then pass out here. That's just a quick explanation of what we got here. Inside you will see a needle bearing again. Needle bearing sits over there, and then you've got the double lip seal. One lip seal goes in there facing out, and the other one is the steel, what they call the line cutter seal, that sits on top there. And that is what you see directly behind your, well, not behind your prop, but when you take the prop off and the spacer off, that's what you will see over there. So this is to cut fishing line that might get caught behind the prop, so it doesn't go in and stuff up everything in here. That seal has got a sharp edge and it will cut it, but make sure of the way that you install it. One facing out, one, and this one. The new ones look a little bit different than this one, but that one facing in. So all in all, this gearbox does not look bad at all. It's got to be it seems to me like nobody has ever stripped it, because it's still got the original Mercury spare seal here, the Mercury seal, branded seal. But maybe they bought an original part. So yeah, that's basically in an overview what it looks like. And then if you look inside this casing here, you see the forward gear bearing race, outer race is still stuck in there, but as you can see in there, if you can, everything's still looking very nice in there, no issues there. Slight pitting and stuff here, but that's the part that's in contact with seawater, so that will be cleaned out properly. The thread will be cleaned out. The thread is a little bit mucked up, but that's not a problem, that will clean out. That's basically what the internal, and if you look there at the bottom, if I can see it now from where I am now, and there goes that fitting again. That cutaway there just above the bearing race is where your drive shaft comes down into, and behind that is where the selector shaft sits. That little groove, you see that little gap right in the center there, rectangular gap, that's where that pin, your selector pin, sits. And the selector shaft slides in from the top there. You'll see there's also a little hole there in the casting. It slides in there, and that's basically how it goes together. At the top here, you can see down there, everything is still in a very, very nice condition. Again, there's a bearing race over here. You can see it there, this one. That will still be removed and sorted out, replaced with a new one. That's when you look down your selector shaft housing, casing, whatever you want to call it. And the rest all looks pretty fine, guys. It's an old gearbox, not a new gearbox, but all in all, if cleaned up properly, which we will still do, then it will look pretty damn good. And there's also a needle bearing, which I've missed now. Not so good with this camera thing. Wonder if I zoom in. There's a proper number for you guys, but that needle bearing will also be replaced. And that's basically that, guys. I'm going to put this down here. Let me just zoom out. There we go. Let's just move away from this obscenely up close stuff. And there's the water pump line has been taken apart. If you can see, let's see this quickly while I'm here. And the impeller. Okay, so this is where your water pump fits in, and then obviously that sleeve over there connects to the copper pipe going up into your motor, feeding water into your motor. I've opted for replacing this thing completely. It's not badly worn. I can see some wear inside here, and I've struggled to get this thing out the other day. The O-ring needs to be replaced and everything, so I've opted to buy the kit. By us, you get it in the kit form. Clearly the impeller doesn't look too bad, but it's bent already and formed, so I'm presuming, and it feels pretty hard, I'm presuming it's going to get brittle and just break after a while. So no use in just putting that back. It's just replace those parts and get done with it. And that's basically what I have for you guys today. Okay, guys, that's in a nutshell what I've done so far. A little bit of work done, but had to fit it in between all my other work. So yeah, let's see how far I get. I know I'm getting some stuff in tomorrow again. Not tomorrow, on Saturday, which is something different to Mariner for a change. going to do Yamaha gearboxes, or a gearbox. Might be two, but I think it's only one if I'm not mistaken. And then it's something else again for you guys, whoever uses Yamaha motors. I'm not promoting any brand or particular to any brand. I just happen to have on my boat, I've got a 90 Mariner 3-cylinder, and I have this 50 horsepower 3-cylinder Mariner to work on. So yeah, it just happens to be Mariner at this stage. My previous motors on my worked on was 260 horsepower Yamahas. So I had, as I say, I had most of the work on that done. There was a lot of machining and stuff that needed to be done. And yeah, now at this stage we're up to Mariner, but I'm hoping that it will get a bit more diverse, so I can give everybody something to look at and something to enjoy, except my ugly mug. Guys, I thank you for your time. I hope you enjoy the channel. I hope you learn something, and if not, if I show you part numbers, hopefully you gain something by that. And that's all we're here for, is to help other guys like myself learn the art of fixing these things and getting it sorted, and not knowing what to look for, not just having to trust anybody. There is very, very good mechanics out there, but there's also a couple of funny oaks out there. So yeah, I'm not dissing any mechanics. I might in future definitely need someone to help me with more serious problems when I get to it. So never burn a bridge, guys, never burn a bridge. Just share info, like, subscribe. I really do appreciate it. And as we carry on and the channel gains some traction, I will definitely get better camera equipment and better recording equipment, and yeah, hopefully be able to share more and more of this work. Thanks a lot. Keep well. Bye-bye.